Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ask the CEO. Today, I'd like to introduce a very special guest. She is the Senior Director of Data Center Product Sustainability with Intel. It is my pleasure to welcome Stephanie Schmidt. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Great. Stephanie, I'm so glad to be speaking with you today. Sustainability is a really exciting topic, and it's a topic that's on everybody's minds today. As you know, there are many public initiatives focused on it. We have the United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, as well as many individual government initiatives that are focused on the health of our planet. And with that on our minds, what are some of the challenges enterprises face when considering options for refreshing their aging infrastructure?
Yes, so we're at an inflection point with three things coming to a head. One, we're hitting a new era of digital transformation where a shared virtual environment, cloud to edge, is driving really unprecedented demands on compute, on the underlying infrastructure. Secondly, as compute demand grows, so does data center energy consumption, waste, and water use. So sustainability is a key issue, not just a corporate consideration, but a global priority. And thirdly, energy efficiency, as everyone knows, it's a focal point. And as we remain in the era of carbon-based energy powering our digital world, inefficient infrastructure can really emit increasing amounts of carbon, especially as compute demand increases. So this is a big challenge. And specifically, some of the key challenges our enterprises face when considering options for refreshing their aging infrastructure or just increasing their capacity during this transformation of computing are things like congested data flows, rapidly expanding hybrid cloud environments, incompatible security techniques, and software application programming interfaces, APIs, dynamic shifts in workload performance, memory, and storage needs. This could drive stranded, overtaxed, and inefficient use of data center resources. And then also sustainability mandates, carbon reduction focus, and energy efficiency. And next-gen data centers are really aimed at addressing these challenges at scale.
You know, and it's really fascinating when you talk about the infrastructure that businesses are using and refreshing of the aging infrastructure. And if you think about it, I mean, this is something that affects each and every person. I mean, we pick up our phones, we call into call centers, we go online, we're on websites, and we think it's just somewhere out there. But you know, there are computers and servers that are sitting somewhere in a data closet taking up energy, and this energy is being generated by fossil fuels or coal or whatever, and hopefully moving towards green energy, which is another topic in and of itself. But like with every interaction that we have in our daily lives, this affects us. So, just putting that into perspective for the average person, like this is something that's not just locked away, a big corporate problem or a government problem, but this is something that actually affects each and every one of us.
Very true. We can all have an impact, a positive impact on this. Yes. Please.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, what are some of the ways businesses go about attaining their sustainability goals while still keeping the CFO happy? Because at the end of the day, it's the economics that will drive the growth of their business.
Yeah, that's such a great question. And it's exactly the point. Sustainability fuels the business. It reduces cost, drives value, and is a huge driver for innovation and can lead to new monetization opportunities. And when I think about it, I think of three things. First, if we look even within ourselves at our own operations and our own data centers, it's sustainability is driving us to make them more efficient, use less, spend less. Secondly, we really see it as a differentiator for our business. As you mentioned, we all have a role to play, and the market is selective and willing to pay more for sustainable products and solutions. And the fact that our chips are produced with 90 to 100% renewable electricity now with a goal to be at 100% in 2030. We really see this as an advantage and as a selling point and as a differentiator. And then thirdly, and probably what is most exciting about sustainability is it's driving tech innovation and new solutions. And I'll walk through a couple of examples. At a workload level, Intel offers software from Granulate that autonomously and continuously optimizes applications in the cloud. And it can reduce CPU utilization and therefore the underlying electricity usage, while still meeting performance and latency goals. And we've seen an average cost savings of 40%, 38% processing reduction times with a 5% throughput increase. So these are great results, and this is a business stream for us. Another example is AI-based telemetry. It's driving a lot of great innovation. With KDDI, a telecommunication operator in Japan, we were able to reduce, with AI-based telemetry, electricity consumption by 20% using our Xeon Scalable processors with their power management and AI capabilities. Another example where energy efficiency is driving new products is in the area of immersion cooling. And this can drive rack level power usage effectiveness down from 1.3 to 1. That's like a 30% improvement. Another example, modularity and extending platform life is another area where we can reduce carbon footprint, and it makes great business sense. For example, the data center modular hardware system is a reusable platform, and it really changes how we're designing data centers. The modularity allows us to reduce our validation costs, but it's also a smaller motherboard, so there's less carbon. And it gives also our customers the ability to refresh certain components while reusing others. So it's a win-win on all fronts. And Second Life Systems also helps us reduce, reuse, and recycle. So there's significant opportunity in sustainability. What's good for the planet is also good for the business, and it opens up so many opportunities to go and do something wonderful.
Yeah, I love what I'm hearing. So, instead of looking at it as a cost, it's actually a benefit because it's going to be lowering the power consumption. It's going to be lowering, the energy costs. And I like the part about refreshing components of the equipment because, in the past, you got to do a forklift. You got to take out the old server and just completely replace that. And that can be very disruptive. Besides replacing the actual hardware, you need to install the new OS, you need to install servers, put it on the network, address security needs. Like there's a whole bunch of things that have to happen in addition to just refreshing equipment. So I really like the fact that you can mix and match and, refresh components as you go along.
Yeah, just so much opportunity in this space. Exactly.
Yeah. So, Stephanie, can you share some case studies about how the fourth generation Intel Scalable processor addresses sustainability?
Yes, absolutely. I can share some case studies, and we've launched this fourth gen Xeon Scalable processor. It's our most sustainable data processor ever. It's got a ton of built-in accelerators. I'll just share maybe some quick data points before getting into the case studies. We're seeing with our advanced matrix extensions AMX up to a 14x per watt improvement. So that's a really great feature. We've also added a new feature called Optimized Power Mode within Xeon Scalable, within our fourth gen Xeon Scalable processor. And it can drive up to 20% CPU power savings with little performance impact in a range of utilizations where our customers are running. So that's really exciting. But I know you want to hear about some case studies. So we've started shipping and we've seen some great success with customers implementing fourth gen Xeon Scalable. An example could be Alibaba on a microservices workload saw an 80% performance boost with a 40% better performance per watt as they moved to fourth gen. Also for database applications, customers using SAP HANA were able to reduce their power consumption by 38% with a constant query rate. And we've also seen new solutions for energy efficiency, edge to cloud, For example, Deutsche Telekom in their 5G base station with 4th Gen Xeon Scalable with its vRAN boost, they were able to increase by 2x their vRAN capacity within the same power envelope. They leveraged the built-in telemetry in the processor and power controls to manage the traffic on the network, which drove a lot of those efficiencies. So also, there's some great software value there as well that we can mention, maybe not a specific customer example, but a software example would be telemetry-aware scheduling in Kubernetes. It can achieve power-driven scheduling and tuning based on CPU telemetry and workload scaling. And we've seen Kubernetes Power Manager coupled with enhanced speed select technologies within our processor, really resulting in the ability to set power profiles according to the workload. And overall, our internal estimates have showed that we can drive 30% efficiencies for carbon through software and app designs. So those are just some examples and some really exciting first data that we've got.
It definitely does sound exciting, especially, if the big players, if the industry leaders are using it and it's helping drive efficiencies. So certainly for enterprises, it can really do a lot. So Stephanie, how can people connect with you to learn more about the 4th generation Xeon Scalable processor?
Yeah, so to learn more about the 4th Gen Xeon Scalable processor, you can visit, we've got a press kit that's published, and the site includes fact sheets, news, videos, demos, and partner news as well. So the press kit's the best place to go.
Great. And then how can people just connect with you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. With me personally, always available on our social media channels, LinkedIn, Twitter, absolutely. Please connect. Happy to specifically address any questions. And of course, we've got our Intel channels as well that are open for participation as well.
Awesome. And I'll post the links to the show notes so people can just click on it and get right with you.
Thank you.
Stephanie, do you have any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the audience?
Yeah, as we think about the future and the future of the data center, really 3 things come to mind. Heterogeneous architecture and silicon that's optimized for the workload to maximize performance per watt. It's definitely our priority and where we're designing to. Secondly, as things become more disaggregated, optimizing at the system level is critical, cloud to edge, for things like security, AI, and sustainability. And thirdly, sustainability and how to increase data center capacity within an existing power footprint is critical. And so this is going to drive a lot of disruptive solutions, and it's going to force us to think differently. Solutions like new carbon-aware platforms, AI solutions for carbon optimizations, and really transforming the way we design and think about the data center, our factories, and even the grid. So doing more with less resources is key, and it's an exciting time. So, and it's about all of us. So let's lead this together, and what's good for the planet is also good for the business.
Very well said. Stephanie, thank you so much for sharing your time and your wisdom. I really enjoyed having you on the show.
Thank you so much.